kinda lost and find. Ended the game in overtime, drawing of a new design, drilling that one earth of mine. Looking to the outward, speaking roundabout words, absurd, blurred to the curb, walking along the verge.
Hey everybody, what is happening? Ish de la Ish, and I am back with part 2 of my Madden 17 Cleveland Browns offensive scheme. We're going to continue with a couple more out of the gun split close. As see here, I was only just running it that way just to see that you actually will get the tight end to block out of the backfield. It's like the only play I found where he will actually block when he's supposed to. He ran this different last couple years. It was a lot. I like to play a little bit better the way it was then, but it doesn't work this year, just the way coverage are. And in this formation, slightly different setup. So on this, the PAF slide, we're going to be taking the X. He'll be streaking on no matter what you do out there. I'll take the Y and put him on a wheel, motion him out left. And if I can get double wheels, I'll do it. You know, if I don't think they're going to be bringing a lot of heat, 3-man, something like that, I'll do double, maybe even a 4 in some situations. Otherwise, you can block the tight end. You know, whatever one you're feeling out there on that, no biggie. But I really like the way that once you get both those wheels going, you get the good separation. It just seems like the middle routes even break a little better, even though they really shouldn't be too affected by it. Just over and over again, the more I ran that, the more I just kind of see that. And especially on that under route, though, having the Y, you know, pulling the guy across there will do that right there. Have him wide open along with the streaking X. Miss him on that one anyhow. But so that's kind of why I'm doing that. So you know, and you could flip whichever one out of the backfield you want to block, if so. But I just think the play, necessarily the way it's breaking, is going to be more effective, at least having the Y out there on that. But on occasion, as you see right there, the way they kind of turn on that B, if you wait too late, because sometimes I'll throw that late, he does kind of get in the wheel area there. So that's why you can see he's going to the other side. But that said, though, you're normally reading the play middle of the field and then to the left. So having the guy on the wheel to the right is sometimes a waste because you shouldn't be looking out there for your reads. So getting to the next one there. And that play also, I should say, is on the audible. So the HB wheel, the halfback wheel, and that PAF slide are both audible plays. Here we go with the wide receiver dig. Last pass one out of here. Just taking A. We're going to motion A out to the left. The backfield's going to be an option on this one. I'll just put RB on A outright, for example. Now, underneath here, you're going to want to hit this A on the turn, and there we go. If some reason they're not running safeties over the top, you can get a little pick play for a touch, but that's a rarity right there. You know, that's the thing is you're running stuff even in practice. Always keep in mind, the computer is going to call stuff that people don't. I don't get people calling, like, cover one man. It'd be great if they did because you'd be torching them for touchdowns all day, but you know, they'll just keep that in mind when you're checking plays out, though. It doesn't always work that way. So again, with the A motion left, though, right there I was blocking. You know, just say you can block 2 if you think they're bringing heat. This is a good play. Also, if you know, you can block both guys in the back and get that, as long as you get that turn on the A. Y again on a wheel because, like I said yesterday, the wheel out of the backfield works with so many of these route combinations, so that's why you can use it for almost everything out of the gun split. You can put one of the guys on that, and it's actually going to help the play out, make the plays better. So here's it on the, you know, like I say, putting the Y on that. You're not really hitting the B too much, but it is nice to have the B driving the defenders off. But if you want to put him on a drag, just to have like a ton of man beaters. I don't know if I would run it this way because it's just like sometimes you just got too much going on. But again, it's just another option in there if you want to have all those reads, you know, just things to keep in mind, mainly man concepts. But I would normally just probably the way I prefer to do it is just putting the Y on a wheel and leaving B on a streak himself. Or, well, it's kind of like that off fade off to the side. But, you know, you might single him up, and if you need be, you know, you still might be the pass leads to the right and be able to complete that one. But for the most part, we're looking for this guy underneath here. The deeper route in there is going to be tougher to hit. It's not that you can't hit it, but for the most part, the A is going to be the one you're looking at when he comes in the turn more than the X. Here you go. You know, like I say, a lot of pressure in there, and then it was just trying to hit a quick hitter. So just block both guys and get that in. Now, The run, you've only got one. As see, we'll go into the runs out of split close. There's just nothing for you. Normally, out of these, you end up with just like crappy draws out of some of these formations. In this one, you're going to get a power O, and it is going to be obviously the audible because they know can give you one. And for some reason, okay, looks like my settings got defaulted. This game constantly doing that crap. Anyhow, if you are going to run it, I would suggest, I think the best way to run it is by taking that tight end and motion them in there. You see, making that lead block in there. It's going to be a little bit slower right now. I'm only going to run this a couple times because there's nothing really, too tricky about that. I'm not going to run it too much. It's not exactly my running formation. It's the pass and set. But if you need to get that run, and since we have a lot of motion going on, like I say, just take that tight end, bring him down to the line. I feel like it definitely, at least as much as I've ran that, it's consistently better and more effective to run the play that way. You can get by the other way, but again, it's not a super strong run, but at least doing it that way, you're going to get more yards for the most part out of that. So let's jump into something a little bit, kind of fun here. I've never been a big Wildcat fan as far as this game goes, but let's look at the play action jet cross. There's about 2 plays here I will run this year out of this. Nice little stuff to mix in. When you play the computer, unfortunately, for whatever reason, if you come out and like you're doing solos or whatever, I'll tell you this, they're going to blitz you almost every time. You're almost always going to have to settle for this quick little RB pass. But again, you're using your running back. You're not really looking to pass to anybody on the left. When I snap the ball, I'm always going to roll this out to the right and turn that thing up if you got it. Remember, it takes, a little bit because you're always thinking I'm a quarterback, I'm going to fumble and all that. So it was a little awkward at first there for me running that. The quick one, especially like I said, if they're running blitzes and stuff like that, that you can actually get outside there and kick that out real fast to that RB. Like I say, I'm always swinging out with him if I want to see that open, but otherwise kind of turn that around and in. So it's not something you can just run heavily, but I will be mixing that in, a couple times a game for certain, along with the run that will come with this. But, on a chance, you're going to hit the Y if the guy comes at you. But, for the most part, it's a quick hitter or you're looking to run. I'm looking to run more than anything out there. If it had a design rollout, it'd probably be even a more effective play. But it is better than the others. Now, I know there's a run up the middle, like a blast run. That's okay, but I noticed off the left-hand side, if they're stacked on the left, they'll break in. I'm not going to show that play, but they'll blitz in heavy. There's a counter out of the Wildcat, and I'm going to tell you, it is crap. Like, it is one of the worst counters in the game. Just don't even bother with it. It says it's a blast RT. There's that one. Jet sweep, I don't mess with, but the power run. So basically, the power run of this, it's just weird. As you see right here, when you're running it, I would definitely recommend practice this a few times because you really got to keep track of your guy because even the animation, you want to think that you're handing that ball off and you're sweeping. So you got to make sure that you're like focused on the running back because it's a trip. Like you actually are looking. Sometimes it'll break right in here. Sometimes you got to carry it out. The way that's most effective is normally after you hand off, you kind of take a couple steps to the right off tackle, and then you cut up. Like right through that hole. I kind of missed it right in there. That's where I noticed where I can take it to the house. And I don't know while I was doing this if I did or not, but I have in game a handful of times already here running it. But that's really the way there's some breaks. So it's a pretty cool run. Like I say, it can be stopped, I'm sure. You know what I mean? It's not extremely overpowered, but there you go, taking that one down. But it is something, especially if you catch somebody off guard with it, you can take and get a good gain on it. It's not going to hurt you running that one anyway, like any other run. So, but again, you want to turn that one up when that blocking. I mean, you'll see, depending on the coverage they're running, you'll see just huge holes sometimes. They're just open up right off that off tackle. So you keep an eye on it, turn it up, and try and make that work. I would say the only thing that's annoying to me about the Wildcat really, though, is that every time you come out in Wildcat, the announcers mention it. Like, and they're saying it to the guy you're playing, so it's just giving them heads up. Hey, the guy's in Wildcat. Like, come on, man. If he don't see it, that's on him. So anyhow, there's gonna be a lot more stuff coming out of this playbook. I have a cool pistol play, so I'm looking to get some more pistol stuff put in, so we get a few of those for a nice scheme out of that. And then I'll be looking at other formations, guys. So like I said, this is the book I'm gonna run. So keep an eye out if you're into it. There'll be more Browns coming.